Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SportsCenter News. I'm Hubert, and this is my co-anchor Bill. On this edition of SportsCenter, we will be reporting on steroid use in sports, including information on Lance Armstrong's career and types of performance-enhancing drugs he used. But first, I'll be passing the baton to my friend over here, Bill, who will be introducing you some background information about steroids.
Hello, I'm Bill Nye, the Science Guy. Today I'll be talking to you about some basic information on steroids, so how they're taken, the different types of dosage techniques, and the pros and cons when taking them. First off, there are two types of steroids. There are the anabolic kind and the corticosteroids. Anabolic steroids, which are similar to the male sex hormone testosterone, are the ones that some athletes use to get stronger quicker, while corticosteroids are used for treating things like arthritis and control inflammation of the joints and organs. Anabolic steroids speed up protein synthesis in the body. So basically, steroids lead to an increased production of proteins, which then build your muscles at a faster rate. Steroids also block out the effect of the hormone cortisol on muscle tissue, so that the existing muscle is broken down at a slower rate. Steroids can either be taken orally or by injection, or sometimes applied to the skin as a cream or gel. The so-called safer route is to take them in pill form, but taking them this way can lead to liver damage, which is not good. There are also many problems with injecting them with a needle, including being at risk for infection of HIV if they share with other users and have a higher chance of getting diagnosed with prostate cancer. Cycling is the most common dosage, which is done in cycles in weeks or months, with short breaks in between. Stacking refers to the method of using several different types of steroids at one time. Lastly, pyramiding is when you slowly increase the amount of steroids in your body, the frequency of steroids to reach a peak, and then changing the amount and frequency of the drug. Stacking or cycling can end up being a deadly combination at the end, so stay away. There are many pros and cons to consider before taking steroids. Some of the pros include they make you look bigger, which some people may find attractive, and they make you stronger, so you can be more physically dominant in your respective sport. It is a very quick fix, so it takes a much shorter time to get bigger and stronger when you take steroids than when you don't. The recovery period after a workout is much quicker too, so you do not feel as much pain and you're not as tired after a workout. There are also many cons that you should consider before taking steroids. Shrinking of testicles is one con that both men and women both agree is a definite con. If you like your hair, then I suggest you don't take steroids because you can experience hair loss on your scalp. Athletes that take steroids can also get angered easily, and they also can get very depressed. When you stop taking them, you become paranoid, and it can lead to suicidal thoughts. You can become addicted to alcohol or cocaine, which is awful. And steroids can also lead to heart and kidney damage, which would be terrible, and you'll also get a breakout of acne, which is not very attractive. People need to realize that a healthy diet, exercise, working out, and determination can lead you far in sports. Well, that's a wrap for today. Now you know some important information about steroids, and so tune in next week when we'll be talking to you about whales.
Lance Armstrong has a long history of doping and performance-enhancing drugs throughout his career. I'll be talking a little bit about his accomplishments and his drug use. We'll start off with a brief overview of Lance's career. At the age of 25, he was diagnosed with testicular cancer, the most common cancer in men aged 18 to 35. If detected early, its cure is a promising 90%. Like most young males, Lance ignored the warning signs and he never imagined the seriousness of this condition. Going untreated, the cancer spread to Lance's abdomen, lungs, and brain. During this treatment before his recovery, before he even knew his own fate, he created the Lance Armstrong Foundation. This marked the beginning of Lance's life as an advocate for people living with cancer. Lance Armstrong won the Tour de France 7 times in a row from 1999 to 2005. During this time and throughout years after, he was accused of using performance-enhancing drugs. Faced with a deadline for responding to allegations by the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency that he both used and distributed performance-enhancing drugs during his competitive cycling career, Armstrong decided on October 23rd to avoid arbitration with the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency and accept the agency's punishment. On August 23, 2012, Lance Armstrong lost his 7 Tour de France titles and was banned from the sport of cycling for life. As a result of winning arguably the hardest cycling competition for 7 years straight, people started to wonder if Lance was using drugs or not. An investigation was launched which resulted in the recent events. The Lance Armstrong Foundation was recently changed to Livestrong Foundation since Lance stepped down from the board of directors. With Lance drawing nearly all the attention of popular media, we may need to take a closer look here. Here's a list of runner-up finishes during the years that Lance won his Tour de France titles. I'm not going to pronounce their names, but I'll just say the year and what they were accused or admitted to. Every single rider that finished second to Lance has been connected to doping, and the majority of them have either been directly convicted in ways comparable to Armstrong or confessed to their own crimes. In 1999, the runner-up was banned from previous year's tour for taking EPO and admitting to cheating. In 2000, 2001, and 2003, the runner-up was involved in blood doping scandal in which dozens of cyclists were named after the Spanish police raided offices of sports doctors who were related to the International Cycling Union and found 100 packs of blood and approximately 1,000 doses of steroids. The 2002 runner-up was accused of being part of the same doping scandal. However, he was later cleared by a Spanish court in 2006 and retired after the incident and never raced professionally again. In 2004, the runner-up was never formally convicted of any doping charges. However, he received a blood transfusion from a university clinic after a race. Folks, stay tuned for our highlight of the night and our worst play of the day after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we have your worst play of the day, brought to you by TELUS. The future is friendly. Here we have a fan that took advantage of Toonie Tallboy's night at Cops Coliseum.
Come on, ref, come on, God!
Looks like that guy's favorite team lost. Good news for him though, because now we have the highlight of the night, brought to you by 2% Milk. Get your daily calcium with a warm glass of cow product.
Wow!
Well, that wraps up another quality edition of Sports Center.
You know it, bud.
Well, folks, thanks for joining us. Tune in next episode where we do a one-on-one interview with Lance Armstrong himself.
You stay classy, Mohawk.